Now, I've always wondered this question, and I've thought about it certainly since my wife passed away 4.5 years ago from alcohol use disorder. But why do people drink to begin with? Why is it allowed? Why is alcohol, a legal drug, allowed to permeate the population? Why is it allowed to flourish in our society? Culturally, it flourishes. Why is it normalized to come home from work, drink a six-pack of beer in a lot of families? Or I made it to the weekend, let's party. Why is that normal behavior? Why is that culturally acceptable? Part of it, I think, is you're actually pacifying the population with alcohol in it. You're able to control the population to some extent. I mean, look at COVID-19, for instance. And let's dig a little bit deeper into this. For example, during COVID-19, between late 2019 to about 2023, when the whole country was shut down, when the world was shut down, what was open? The liquor stores. Anything that sold liquor, the grocery stores, the CVS's, the convenience stores, they were all deemed necessary businesses because you need to placate the population. And without it, you probably would have had an uprising that would have been worse than the actual COVID-19 was, the amount of people it killed and maimed and made sick. The alcohol, if that hadn't been allowed, there would have been revolts in the streets. And we've tried this social experiment, in the United States 100 years ago with Prohibition from 1920 until 1933, which was an unmitigated disaster. We created an entire subculture and a criminal enterprise that the United States has never seen since or after. Alcohol is a big part of our country, the world, and how we deal with it on an individual basis. And I think we need to have a better understanding and a better education of why it exists in our world at all. I've talked about this before, but one of the big reasons why I think alcohol exists, is allowed really to exist in the level that it does, is for tax purposes. I mean, you think about the big cartels like Miller, Budweiser, Coors, Jack Daniels, Jim Beam, Grey Goose. I mean, giant conglomerates that make alcohol. They create unbelievable amounts of tax revenue, and that's a good thing. But there's also a trade-off with that. It also costs lives and it costs families, and I think that's why it's so important to bring education into the cost. If you do overindulge, if you are caught into this cultural maze of acceptability to drink when you come home, or this reward system, or this ability to go crazy into the good night on the weekends, understand your activity, and if it starts in youth, or if it's part of family hereditary or family culture, it's important to recognize that. And I think that really my platform is really centered around that. Fundamentally, is to recognize that. And have the ability to do something about it if you do get caught in that web. It's so important, because dying from alcoholism, or to have your life wrecked, or your health wrecked, or your relationships wrecked, it's not a substance that's ever going to pay you back in dividends, and it's definitely not worth losing your life over. And again, on that note, there are no real health benefits to alcohol. There's no mental health benefits. There's no physical health benefits. And you have to realize that there is no real benefit to alcohol in your life. Understanding that maybe we've been sold a bill of goods. Maybe somebody's pushing it on us for some particular reason since the day we were born. And essentially, we see our parents drink. We see our relatives drink. It's a part of our life. It's part of our culture. We see it on television. It's pushed on us from every angle. And my point is just be aware of that and don't let it control your life. And I hope, when you're ready to get help, if you do find yourself in that position, that we're here to help you. And that's really what this platform is about, education and helping you through this horrible disease known as alcohol use disorder. And again, I go live every Monday through Friday on this channel right around 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 9 o'clock East Coast. And again, we have a Facebook group called There's an Alcoholic in the Family. And also, if you're ready to work with me one-on-one, click on the link tree, go to the Calendly link, set up a Zoom call. I have a complete coaching program that helps both alcoholics and their families. And again, thanks for listening.